I want to turn to the stabbing rampage on a Texas college campus today. 14 people were injured. 2 of them are in critical condition tonight. Joining me now are 2 students at the Lone Star College, brothers Jonathan and John Paul Clayton. So they could have prevented the bloodshed with a handgun. And on the phone is student Michael Chalfin. He's also a Texas State Senator Dan Patrick, who is also in favour of concealed firearms on campuses. So welcome to you all. Let me start, if I may, with Michael Chalfin, because you actually witnessed what happened today. What did you see?
Well, I basically saw a male running towards me when a guy by the name of Stephen Medea, if I got that correct, tackled him to the ground, and while others helped out, and police also helped out as well. So basically, simultaneously, they all came and wrestled him to the ground with really no, I would say, no hesitation from him.
Did you see the weapon that he was using?
No, I did not see it on me. I was about 20 to 30 feet away, so I didn't see a clear view of it. But I do remember them wrestling to the ground, and he didn't struggle a lot. He just kind of gave up.
Let me turn to you, Jonathan and John Paul. Although you didn't see the incident, you have quite strong views about how you think you should be empowered to deal with this kind of thing. Tell me what you think should happen.
Well, sir, I think that, we as students we are adults, and the government does not permit us to carry weapons, even if you have the certificates and certification to carry a handgun. And I think that that law should be changed for protection.
So you basically both think
I agree.
Right, you both think that you should be allowed to carry guns at the school?
Yes, sir.
If you're properly trained and have the certifications and all the legal papers, because 99.9% of all gun owners are legal, abiding citizens.
Right, but you do have armed security guards there, right?
Correct.
Yes, sir, we do. We have our own police officers here.
Where were they?
They are on they're all throughout the campus, sir. But since there's about, I'm guessing around 8 of them, if I remember correctly, sir, and there's a couple hundred or to 1,000 students on campus at one time during this. So 8 officers can't guard and protect everyone on campus.
See, my argument would be that far from, with respect, allowing all the students to carry guns, which I think would descend this school into total Wild West madness, isn't there an argument that this could have been a lot worse if the person carrying a knife had a gun? I mean, they'd all be dead, these students. So although it's being used as an argument by people like yourselves in favor of more guns, I would argue it's a compelling situation where if there had been more guns, more people would have been dead.
While I can respect your argument, Mr. Pierce, really, this is the only places we cannot legally carry a gun if you have the proper permits, is college campuses, post offices, and airports. And now airports, you can legally carry knives and stuff, but then you can't even carry a knife legally on a college campus. And this particular incident didn't even involve a gun, but it would allow us to protect ourselves just like we can anywhere else.
But
the law is skirted around this one place.
Let me ask you both, don't you think, I mean, how old are you both?
I'm 22, sir.
I'm 20 years old.
I'm 26 years old.
Okay, I mean, do you not think if all the students are armed, though, that the kind of day-to-day conflict which goes on all schools and college campuses could very quickly escalate into much more dangerous situations if everybody had a gun?
Well, we're not saying everybody should have a gun. I'm saying that
from carrying a gun.
You're not saying everyone should. How many should have guns?
anyone that's permitted and goes through the right training, sir, I think should be able to carry a gun, long as they go through the proper government safety laws, sir.
And get the certifications that all gun owners are required to have a concealed handgun permit
on their person.
On their person.
Dan Patrick, let me come to you. Do you agree with this?
Yes. In fact, I thought you were going to have a new issue tonight, Piers. I thought you would want banning of knives all over America because you wanted to ban guns. And let's, in a very serious mode, Piers.
See, why would you start the conversation by being so completely facetious?
Because actually, the way you've been thinking about the whole gun issue, I've found just totally out of touch with reality.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy that I think that 100,000 Americans being shot a year is out of control. Crazy, I think, that 30,000 Americans who kill themselves every year or shoot others with guns is out of control. Call me crazy. Look, I think it's absolutely shameful. So I want to try and reduce the gun violence, not increase it.
Yeah, well, you don't reduce gun violence or any violence by taking guns away from law-abiding citizens.
No, you actually do. You actually do.
That out by now.
No, you really do. Secondly, if you go to Japan or Britain or Australia or a number of other countries I can name where they have very strict gun control laws, it is so difficult to get hands on guns, you don't have the gun violence. It is a proven, demonstrable fact.
Well, this is America, and our Constitution gives us the right to bear arms. This is not Tokyo. This is not Finland. This is not whatever other country you want to talk about, Piers. This is the United States of America. And in America, where law-abiding citizens have guns, crime is down, like in Texas.
But I've got a lot of Americans in this audience who are all shaking their heads at what you're saying. So how do you equate that?
They're probably Northeast liberals who don't understand. But in Texas,
actually, they're half an hour. We're half an hour from Chicago. Well, as you know, we are half an hour from Newtown.
Crime is down.
We're half an hour from Newtown.
Yeah, that's fine. In Texas, we believe in defending our families and our properties with guns, and crime is down. In Chicago, where you have some of the toughest laws against guns, crime is up, and I wouldn't want to be out on the streets in Chicago. I'll be out on the streets in Houston or Dallas and San Antonio and feel safe. And secondly, Piers, thank God this young man did not have a gun today. Think about the massacre that could have been stopped if another student had had a gun. And my guess is, if this student with the knife had known that people with the CHL, law-abiding citizens, had a gun, he wouldn't have stabbed 12 or 14 people a day. We just had a gun class this past weekend in Dallas offered to school teachers. It was free. 700 school teachers came out to take advantage of this course. Piers, CHL holders are responsible gun owners. All the things you're saying about there would be the Wild West, that's what they said back in the 90s when Texas passed this law. There'll be road rage. There'll be barroom fights. There'll be, neighbors shooting each other over a noisy dog. None of that, Piers, has ever happened. It hasn't happened. My heart breaks for what has happened in America, whether a college or an elementary or a high school campus. It could happen anywhere. But in Texas, we believe that we have a right to defend our life, our property, and the lives of a third party if we could help them.
Okay, got to leave it there. Thank you all very much. Very quickly, Christiane Amanpour, I could see you reacting to that debate. What is your view? Because you've travelled in proper war zones around the world.
Well, look, I mean, this debate has been going on for a long time. The fact of the matter is that in states inside the United States where there are tougher gun laws, there is lower gun crime. And I think you are right in saying that in these other countries which have had their own massacres, which then took these measures, there has been very little, if not any, gun crime. So I think that is a real fact, and I'm watching it on my own program. We know that Thursday is going to be the real showdown day in the U.S. Capitol to see how the Congress reacts. Newtown families are there. They've been talking about it, and they're very committed to sensible gun control, not taking away people's rights to have the guns that they're allowed to have. But look, even the Columbine massacre, they say, wouldn't have happened had there been these background checks so that the third person would not have been able to buy this gun.
Well, the background checks to me is just bleedingly obvious. And the idea is all come down just to that, to me, is offensive to those families in Newtown.